Now, you're watching College Football Game Night on Newswatch 12, presented by Quality Fence of Southern Oregon.
Happy Saturday. Thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to another week of College Football Game Night. I'm Peyton Manny.
And I'm Madison Marie. To start our show, it looks a little different because this week the SOU Raiders finished their season last week on Saturday, but there was some breaking news that came out earlier this week.
SOU's athletic director Matt Sayer announced on Monday that he accepted Charlie Hall's resignation letter as Raiders head coach.
This news came after the Raiders' 3-7 finish on Saturday. After a huge win against Montana Western on October 8th, the Raiders posted a 4-game losing streak to finish out the remainder of the season.
With SOU, Hall recorded a 28-26 record in 6 seasons at SOU. In his first year with SOU, the 2017 Raiders went 12-1, won the Frontier Conference, and advanced to the NAIA semifinals for the third time in team history. The next year, they briefly held the NAIA's #1 ranking following a 4-0 start.
You know, my time as a 40-plus year coach, doesn't rest in one season or, even at one job, and I'm just grateful for the time that I was able to spend here to make those connections, both with, not only our players and our coaches, but, people in the community like yourselves, and to bring and to share the things that we do so that people can understand that, it's more than just a game.
Definitely some unexpected news that everyone received, but Newswatch 12 Sports wishes Coach Hall the very best in the next chapter of his life.
And although that news overshadowed some of the success the Raiders had this season, we still thought it would only be fair to recap some of those games the Raiders really showed up and showed out for.
The first win for the Raiders came against Montana State Northern in their second game of the season. After losing QB1 Matt Struck to a shoulder injury in the first game, it was up to Blake Ashudo to step in and make something happen, and that he did. In the first half alone, Ashudo completed 21 of 28 passes for 285 yards and 4 touchdowns. With help from Adric Lamar, Bryce Goggin, and Champ Robertson, the Raiders won 56-6.
The Raiders' second win came 4 weeks later against the Eastern Oregon Mountaineers. Freshman running back Gunnar Yates had a dominating performance against the Mountaineers, scoring 2 touchdowns, averaging 7 yards a carry. The Raiders took down EOU with no trouble, winning 42-14.
And the Raiders' third and final win came against the defending Frontier Conference champs, the Montana Western Bulldogs. Senior wide receiver Christian Graney had a record-setting performance with 267 reception yards and 2 touchdowns, and Ashudo went 17 of 29 for 416 yards.
Although the Raiders picked up only 3 wins this season, they were dominating wins. It's hard to say how next season will go since the Raiders are now in a search for a new head coach. But Newswatch 12 Sports will be there getting all the highlights when that time comes around again. And coming up, the Beavers played early this morning in the desert. We'll recap their win over the ASU Sun Devils. Stick around, you're watching College Football Game Night.
College Football Game Night, presented by Quality Fence of Southern Oregon.
The MDX, a new era of premium performance.
Visit Butler Acura for attractive offers on the MDX.
There is no better time than now to join CASA of Jackson and Josephine County and give back to your community. Sign up for a virtual orientation today. As a CASA volunteer, you will be the eyes and ears of the court and speak solely for the best interest of children and youth.
My CASA was there for me when no one else was. Call or email today to learn more. CASA of Jackson and Josephine County. Be a child's voice.
Nothing in the world says I love you like the perfect diamond. Perfectly cut, perfectly polished, perfectly beautiful. Golden Gems Fine Jewelry has natural and lab-grown diamonds. This holiday season, say I love you with the perfect diamond from Golden Gems on the Plaza downtown Ashland, or at goldengems.com. Golden Gems Fine Jewelry, where Southern Oregon gets engaged.
Why should your new floor come from Lippard's Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned flooring stores, so you can be sure you'll get great selection at a great price. We take the guesswork out of helping you choose the right floor. Right now, save up to 50% on wood, laminate, and waterproof plank, plus pay no interest for 12 months at the one store for your perfect floor, Lippard's Carpet One, Medford and Grants Pass.
Remove stubborn fat resistant to diet and exercise. Cool Sculpting Elite now features redesigned applicators to fit your natural curve, delivering 18% more cooling coverage than traditional Cool Sculpting, with the option to treat 2 areas at one time. Are you tired of stubborn fat resistant to diet and exercise? Consider Cool Sculpting Elite. Call Admire Aesthetics today or visit us online at admireaesthetics.com.
The MDX, a new era of premium performance.
Visit Butler Acura for attractive offers on the MDX.
Welcome back to College Football Game Night, presented by Quality Fence of Southern Oregon.
The Oregon State Beavers traded in some cold weather for some sunshine, and they headed to the desert to take on the Arizona State Sun Devils.
The Beavers haven't won in Arizona since 2009, and they currently rank first in the pack for rushing yards allowed, holding their opponents to 107. Coming into this matchup, Oregon State is 7-3 this season, including a 4-3 record in pack play, while the Sun Devils have struggled to a 3-7 season with a 2-5 record in pack play as well. But the Beavers are already bowl eligible, so really the only game that matters for them is what happens next week when they take on their rival, the Oregon Ducks.
But head coach Jonathan Smith has emphasized all year the importance of finishing out the season strong, and if the Beavers can win out, they have a chance to complete a 10-win season. Finishing out the season strong was exactly the mentality the Beavers had heading into today's matchup against the Sun Devils. They came out strong to start the game and held on to their lead throughout the entire game. Damian Martinez found the end zone early in the first quarter to cash in the first touchdown of the game, giving the Beavers the kickstart to their dynamic offense. The Sun Devils were slow to respond and couldn't score until the end of the first half, but Oregon State didn't allow the game to stay tied for long. 53 seconds later, the Beavers responded with another touchdown, this time from Jack Velling, to give Oregon State the 7-point lead heading into the locker room at half.
After the first half, it was all Oregon State for the remainder of the game. The Beavers defense held the Sun Devils and didn't allow one touchdown after that first half score. They used their weapons in the air and on the ground to rack up the lead. The man of the day, Damian Martinez, once again punched in another rushing touchdown. This time, it was a 12-yard run in the middle of the third to push Oregon State's lead to 14 points. But it was enough for Jonathan Smith's squad as Gulbranson hit the ground running 8 yards in for another touchdown 10 seconds before the fourth. The final quarter wasn't as explosive, but the Beavers still managed to get on the board one last time with a field goal from Hayes 26 yards out and push the Beavers into a victory. The final out at Sun Devil Stadium is 31-7 Oregon State. Ben Gulbranson had nearly 200 passing yards today with one touchdown, and freshman Damian Martinez carried the Beavers to a victory with 138 rushing yards on 22 carries and 2 touchdowns.
Because of the older group they are, we've talked about adversity and coming in different ways and all the time, and so I was confident that these guys approached knowing that we were going to have to play well to win on the road, and they were confident to do it.
Like Ben said, just that next man up mentality. Everyone's ready to just make a play. Everyone's steady working, just keeping each other up. We're all ready to make a play whenever our number's called.
Coming up next, we'll take a look at what led to Oregon's loss against the Washington Huskies last week, and then check out how they're doing against the number 10 Utah Utes. You're watching College Football Game Night.
College Football Game Night, presented by Quality Fence of Southern Oregon.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Breakfast served daily until 2 p.m. Breakfast burritos, biscuits and gravy, skillets, omelets, and more. Sweet Tea Express. Don't get caught hungry.
You take pride in doing things yourself. You use only the best materials and products, and always seek the best values and advice. Quality is a reflection of who you are. That's why all your fencing projects begin here. Surround your home and family with nothing but the best. Surround yourself with quality. Visit a Quality Fence showroom today or online at qualityfenceco.com.
Nothing brings new life to your home like hardwood flooring. For a limited time, No Frills Flooring has pre-finished hickory hardwood on sale. Durable hand-scraped hickory with a 25-year warranty. Not for $4.99 or $3.99, but an unheard of $2.99 a square foot. Hurry, quantities are limited, so you've got to move fast. Hickory hardwood on sale only at No Frills Flooring. Factory direct savings and warehouse selection for contractors. And you too. Medford and Grants Pass.
The difference between Soul Savers and other companies is we look at the person as a whole. We don't just look at that number, that credit score. Most companies look at your credit to determine what kind of person you are. Bad things happen to good people, but that doesn't mean they don't deserve that car. We believe that people are inherently good. They want to make those payments, they want that second chance, and they need that second chance. We just want to help them succeed. My name is Mike, and I'm the manager at Soul Savers.
Sam's Jewelers is Medford's premier wedding and engagement destination. With Southern Oregon's largest variety of men's wedding bands and women's diamond engagement rings, you're sure to find something special for your partner. This holiday season, any purchase of $750 or more will get you a complimentary cruise for two, included with your purchase. Make this holiday season extra special at Sam's Jewelers, located upper level at the Rogue Valley Mall.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Burgers, salads, sandwiches, barbecue platters, sides, and more. Smoked, grilled, and served to perfection. Sweet Tea Express, breakfast, burgers, and barbecue.
Welcome back to College Football Game Night, presented by Quality Fence of Southern Oregon.
Welcome back. And last week, the Oregon Ducks were ranked number 6 in the college football playoffs, and they hosted the then-ranked number 25 Washington Huskies, a team that handed Oregon State their loss just the other week.
The Huskies have always given the Ducks a problem, and last week, the Huskies were able to expose the weaknesses in Oregon's defense and offense.
The Ducks struggled against the national passing leader, Michael Penix Jr. The Huskies quarterback went 26 of 35 for 408 yards with 2 touchdowns and 1 interception.
And Oregon's Bo Nix didn't perform as well as he has in the past, going 19 of 28 for 279 yards and 2 touchdowns. But he also suffered a knee injury, and Dan Lanning did not share an update this week on the status of his injury.
But Lanning did share some optimism about where they stand for today's game. Lanning said he felt some regret not calling a timeout during the 4th and 1 play where Noah Whittington slipped, which led to the Huskies' game-winning field goal.
But moving forward, Lanning says they will make decisions as a team and not point fingers at one specific group.
But I've always learned in situations where you're not having success is it's easier to point fingers and try to say, well, this guy didn't do his job right, but I've always been a thumb pointer, right? And there's parts that I can do better. There's parts that our coaching staff can do better, and there's certainly parts that our players can do better, but we're probably closer than some of you think. It being there, right? That being said, it's not acceptable, right? It's not something that we accept in our program. We want to play better than we're playing.
Well, last week's loss is old news because the number 10 Utah Utes are playing at Autzen Stadium right now.
The game just started about 30 minutes ago, so although we don't have any highlights to share, the score is currently 14-3. So let's jump into a little bit about this matchup.
Oregon Ducks up on that one.
Yes, they are. The Utes and Ducks have played each other multiple times, but the most recent times were last year, one of them being the Pac-12 championship, which the Ducks lost.
But this year looks a little different. The Ducks are sporting a new head coach, a new quarterback, and they're at home in Autzen Stadium. The Utes are 2-2 on the road and are known to be a tough competitor.
And the Ducks defense will have their hands full with Utes QB1 Cameron Rising. Rising is completing 66.3% of his passes for 2,225 yards with 19 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. And he has run for 335 yards with 6 touchdowns.
But let's not forget about the Ducks offense. If Bo Nix does play, which he started off playing, there's a good chance that Oregon's defense can control the game. Although defensively, Utah is the best defensive team in the conference.
Not so much about the frustration piece. We certainly studied those last year, and really more so even in off-season prep, because it's a new team and they've had a lot of games this season. But certainly watch those in the off-season and a little bit this week.
Maddie and I were just talking about this a little bit before we came on, but if the Ducks can beat the Utes tonight, we think that they will definitely move up in the college football playoff rankings again. But a win tonight will also give them some momentum heading into their game against Oregon State.
Getting on the road to see the Beavers will be a tough feat for the Ducks, but Oregon has put up some wins this season compared to Oregon State.
Since this rivalry began, the Ducks have won 67 times and lost 49, so their odds seem to be pretty good. And this year, especially with a former SEC quarterback and coach, Oregon will put up a fight.
But heading up to Corvallis to play at Research Stadium is tough for any team. And the Beavers are 5-1 at home, while the Ducks are 4-0 on the road.
When we look at Bo Nix and compare him to what Ben Gulbranson has done this season, it is a night and day difference. Nix has thrown for 2,775 total yards with 24 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions this year. Plus, he has been mobile out of the pocket, rushing for 516 total yards with 14 touchdowns.
While Gulbranson has put over a little more than 1,000 yards, he isn't as mobile as Nix, which could make him an easy target for Oregon's defense. Well, stick with us because when College Game Night returns, we'll take a look at every Pac-12 game from today. We'll be right back.
College Football Game Night, presented by Quality Fence of Southern Oregon.
So, can I ring you up?
We'll take it.
You've waited all year for Black Friday. Unbelievable discounts, hot buys up to 50% off. This week only Black Friday doorbusters, plus 60-month special financing only at Ashley.
Southern Oregon is calling. And sure, you could road trip in the same tired drive like every other Tom, Dick, and Chevy. Or you could take the road well-traveled in a new GMC Yukon Denali. With room for everyone and everything, even a simple day trip becomes a vacation. Yeah, Southern Oregon is calling. So take a look at GMC, because what you ride is as important as where you ride. Then go like a pro at your Southern Oregon GMC dealer.
There are many things to love about living in beautiful Southern Oregon. New places to discover, sights to behold, adventures to embark on. And what better way to explore than in a new Chevrolet? Whether it's taking the scenic route to your favorite location, finding that perfect camping site, seeking out a new trail, or just soaking in nature's beauty, your Chevy will take you wherever you want to go. Test drive a Chevy today at your Southern Oregon Chevy dealers.
Get ready for winter's snowy, icy, slippery roads at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We've stocked up on over 100 quality pre-owned trucks and SUVs, and every pre-owned 4x4 and all-wheel drive in stock is sale priced. Many are still under factory warranty or come with our 60-day, 3,000-mile comprehensive used vehicle warranty. And our finance experts are ready to help with a quick, easy, and hassle-free process with great finance options. Be safe, warm, and secure this winter. Get to the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Every year, Harry and David creates thousands of local jobs to make and ship gourmet gifts all over the country. We have positions in our call center, packing area, and warehouse with flexible hours, plus competitive pay and employee discount, paid on-the-job training, and reduced bus rates. We value our employees' safety and have taken extra steps to protect them during this unprecedented time. Join a tradition of sharing. Apply at harryanddavid.com/jobs and call 541-864-2082.
I love this mattress.
So, can I ring you up?
We'll take it. Ashley's Black Friday mattress sale going on now. Save big on select adjustable mattress sets and pay 0% interest for 72 months. Only at Ashley.
Welcome back to College Football Game Night, presented by Quality Fence of Southern Oregon.
Welcome back to College Game Night. Tonight, the Pac-12 joined the ACC and University of Virginia's football program in honoring the lives of the players who were killed earlier this week.
Along with the entire college football world, our hearts also go out to the families of Lavelle Davis Jr., Devin Changler, and Deshaun Perry's family, and all who were affected by this tragedy.
Ahead of the Oregon State game today, Arizona State painted their 1, 15, and 41-yard hash mark in Virginia orange.
The Cal Golden Bears also joined in along with the rest of the home fields in the league today.
Well, speaking of the Pac-12, let's jump into those Pac matchups from today, starting off with the Washington State Cougars in Arizona taking on the Wildcats.
Arizona's quarterback Jaden DeLora faces old team for the first time today at home. The 2-year starter now ranks 6th nationally in yards per game.
First quarter, Cameron Ward gets the snap and gets the pass off quick to Watson for the Cougars touchdown. Wazoo goes up. Second quarter, Ward with the QB keeper meets the end zone for another Cougar touchdown. Wazoo extends their lead. 1 minute left in the second. Watson hands the ball off and gets the easy touchdown. Wazoo still leads 21-3. With just seconds left in the first, Tyler Luke makes the 47-yard field goal to put the Wildcats on the board again, 21-6, heading into the half. Third quarter now, Jaden DeLora looking to go downfield, but he gets picked off by Sam Lockett III. Next play. Let's see it. The Cougars looking to get a score. Ward gets the snap and hands it off to Watson. Watson hits the sideline and dives into the end zone, but loses control of the ball and doesn't get the touchdown. So here comes the Arizona Wildcats trying to make something happen, but deja vu because DeLora throws another interception, and Langford returns this one to the house for a pick six. The Cougars leave the desert with a win, 31-20. Cam Ward's nearly 200 passing yard day was nowhere close to Wildcats Jaden DeLora's 357 yards today. But DeLora did throw 4 interceptions, which ultimately costed the Wildcats the game. Cam Ward also hit the turf and finished with 59 rushing yards on 8 carries and ran 1 in for the Cougs.
Moving out to California, the Stanford Cardinal were in California today taking on the Cal Bears. Nothing was at stake for either team today after both teams lost last week and spoiled their bowl contention.
This is also the first time since 1997 Cal and Stanford both have losing records in back-to-back seasons.
Only a minute into the game, and Stanford's quarterback Tanner McKee is going to break out of the pocket and run this one 3 yards to the Cal 13, showing the Golden Bears there's a mobile quarterback in the game today. We'll jump into the second. Bears have the ball first and 18. Jack Plummer connects with Jeremiah Hunter, and he takes off scrambling left and right until he's finally down at the Stanford 47 for a Cal first down. Bears ball still. They're in the red zone. Plummer steps back and he tries to find his guy in the end zone, but he's picked off and it's a touchback. Stanford's got the ball back. Second half now. Stanford looking to extend their lead. Tanner McKee completes it to Elijah Higgins for the 9-yard touchdown, and the extra point will be good. Stanford still leads though, 17-6. Bears chance in the red zone. Plummer steps back and he's looking. He finds Monroe Young for the 1-yard touchdown, but the 2-point conversion fails. Stanford has the ball back. Ashton Daniels will run this one 2 yards, and the ball will come out. It's recovered by Jackson Sturman for a touchdown and a good 2-point conversion. And the final out at California Memorial Stadium, 27-20. Cal Bears keep the win at home. Cal's QB1 Jack Plummer went 23 of 43 with 280 yards and 1 touchdown with 2 interceptions. Jaden Ott rushed for 97 yards on 18 carries with 1 touchdown, and Jeremiah Hunter had 5 receptions for 103 yards. Cal is now 4-7 overall with a 2-6 conference record.
Sticking in California, there was a ranked crosstown showdown between the USC Trojans and the UCLA Bruins. Both teams are scheduled to leave the Pac-12 in 2024.
The last 3 times these teams have met, defense hasn't led either team to a win. So coming into today's game, it remained an offensive game for both teams.
And the final out at the Rose Bowl, 48-45, USC will take the win home, and they might keep their rankings in the college football playoffs. Caleb Williams had 502 total yards, the most by any player in the history of this series, according to Fox.
The Washington Huskies are coming off a huge win over the top-ranked Oregon Ducks. They took on the Colorado Buffaloes tonight for their final home game of the season.
The Buffaloes have lost 4 straight games and have given up 40 points in each of those losses. They're now tasked with the challenge of taking on the national passing leader, Michael Penix Jr.
The current score is 47-7 in the fourth quarter. Michael Penix Jr. so far is 19 of 31 with 229 passing yards and 1 touchdown.
As much fun and happiness and maybe even stress for some fan bases November football brings, teams across the country still show that at the end of the day, the game means more than just calling plays and winning. Now, I know we touched on this earlier in the block, but not only did the Pac-12 remember the Virginia players who lost their lives earlier this week, so did other teams across the country. Before kickoff in Clemson today, the Miami Hurricanes and Clemson Tigers held a moment of silence for the 3 University of Virginia players who tragically lost their life earlier this week.